I messed up. I've been trying my hardest to like these steps, but I don't think I like them. And you know what, first, let me show you why. They look good, don't get me wrong. They cover everything that I wanted them to cover because we put spacers on the Bronco, which kick the tires out, so it saves the paint from rock chips. Now let me show you why these suck. You open the door, right? And you have like 3 inches of surface area for your foot. Now I have perfected this to where if you put your foot on sideways like this, it's not that big of an issue. But that takes us to the next issue I have with this, which is the clearance that my head has to the top of the door. So when you step into this car, it's like you stand up way above the roof, and then you kind of have to drop down into the seat, which becomes an issue for me because then I'm gonna whack my head on the ceiling or like the roof liner. So I guess I could show you what that looks like real fast. All right, so getting in, I gotta grab onto the steering wheel. So my whole shoulder goes above the top of the Bronco, which for me, I'm slowly getting used to it. It's just one of the things that I hate about this step. You know, it gives you the looks that you want. You get the ground clearance for like when you're off-roading over rocks and stuff, but it's still kind of a pain in the butt because you end up stepping so high up over the vehicle that it sucks to kind of like drop your butt down into the car. And if you're not, you know, a taller person, or if it's your wife's car, it might not be that big of an issue. But even with my wife, she still says that these steps are kind of a pain in her butt because she says she feels like she has to do the splits to get into the Bronco because we did lift it. So it is, you know, 3 inches taller than like a stock Sasquatch. But besides that, those are like really my only 2 complaints. I kind of wish I would have gotten the amp steps, but then again, it wouldn't have supplied the Bronco with the amount of like protection for like the paint on the side. So then again, there's a company called, shoot, I can't remember what they're called. Let me look it up and get back to you. So the steps are made by Rock Slide Engineering. It's their Gen 3 steps. So essentially what it is it looks like a rock slider. It's supposed to function like a rock slider, yet the step is a drop down step. So it'll be just like the amp step, except it's gonna fold, like it's kind of gonna fold down instead of just dropping straight underneath. It'll fold out from the rock slider and you can step into the car. So it'll drop down probably, like, if I had to guess, like 8 inches lower than what the step is that we have on here, which is the Go Rhino Dominator Xtreme DSS step, which, you know, is an awesome step for traction, looks, paint protection, all that nonsense. I just don't like the height of it. But that Gen 3 slider that Rock Slide Engineering makes is absolutely awesome. It was everything I wanted. The only issue I had with it was like $2,400. I didn't want to pay that much for side steps on this thing, especially if, you know, they got dented or something when we were off-roading and that step stopped like functioning. Now you just broke a $2,400 step. So I don't know what their warranty looks like. I didn't buy those steps because it was out of my budget and it just wasn't something that I wanted. We went with these, but you know, that's my only complaint with these so far. They look fantastic, the protection is there, and it's checked all my other boxes. Just know, if you're a taller person, it's gonna suck getting into your Bronco because you're gonna step so high up, it's gonna feel like you're falling down into like a low car. If you've ever like driven in a car that's lowered and you gotta like fall into the car, that's how it's gonna be getting into your Bronco if you use your steps. So just so you know. Sorry, I had to get out of the Bronco. That thing was cooking me in there. Anyway, that's what I think about it. I think I messed up. I probably should have spent $2,400 on side steps because it would have functioned better for me as far as like getting in the vehicle. But to each his own. Learn from my mistakes. Maybe do the same thing I did because you don't want to spend $2,400. But you know, I figured I'd do this video for you guys so that you kind of get a better idea of like what you're purchasing, what it's going to look like, the issues I had, and kind of what your other 3 options are, which is going to be that Rock Slider Engineering or the amp steps. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.